9. So the blue ones are to what YouTube must really not want. Case is open, guys. I got to keep rolling this. Patrick for 5. Pretty sure that Panini is sticking with Crystal for the description when they're launching in and out. So you're going to just head out and watch the upload tomorrow. I can't say that I blame you, man. It does seem like YouTube's going to... Red Wave LeGarrette Blount, 149. So that kind of gives you a rundown of what things will be numbered to as we go along. Die cut for the Saints, Marshawn Lattimore to 199 on the blue. Numbered. Marquise Goodwin for the 49ers. That's another red wave. Once again, the red waves are numbered to 149. And I think I see what 175. YouTube stable. Like my channel page to launch. So in other words, I could stream fine, and which is what you guys would have to be able to launch to watch a break. It wouldn't launch the page at all. And finally, about, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes into the break, it fixed itself, and, you know, we were good to go. But that's been within the last couple of months anyway. This would be what I would say anyway. One of those a moment ago for the 49ers. And then we have numbered to, oops, before we get to that, those also are not numbered. Unless we find a parallel, in which case, of course, I would call it out. Numbered to 249, a die-cut Foreman for the Texans. And, of course, I will, on some of the lower numbered stuff, be going back to put it in. There's T.Y. Hilton for the Colts. That is Hype or Hyper, something like that. It's to 275, whatever we're calling it. And a silver prism. Carlton Davis football is so dramatic in the sense that the silver prism value in basketball has always been so good, and in fact oftentimes worth more than the autograph cards. Marshall Faulk to 249 for the 49. So now that they've changed that, I would hope that we would maybe see a little increase in desirability and Cleveland, and a good hit for Denzel Ward. Actually, he was a rookie last year, wasn't he? Did I say? Was he? Yeah. I got to think about who's who. Myles Garrett was last year. So, yeah, Denzel Ward is this year, I guess. Either way, it's a hit for the Browns. It's a good thing. Everybody likes hits. Working them in over the course of the next probably week or so, the next 7-8 days, something like that. Of course, we hit a new release day tomorrow, so we'll have to spend some time opening some of that, but we will get back into Prism and finish up a couple of those cases by the end of next week, probably. Geno Atkins and the Bengals, that's a die cut to 199. Scott, you said it's a ridiculous game to end the broadcast from going smoothly. So I wasn't sure I'd be able to get any scores. But Scott, you said that it is a ridiculous game and you're asking if I'm watching it. No, man, I can't watch it when I'm working. No. So Scott, how bad is it? I'm assuming it's going to be one of those games that like I've taped and I will just immediately delete. That is Matt Ryan on a hype insert. LeGarrette Blount for the Lions. That is a red wave numbered to 149. So, Scott, I'm sure things are. Why I want to know how bad it is, I don't know. Marcel Aitman die cut for the Raiders. That, wow. What do we have, like 10? Like, if you said the way you say it, it makes me feel like we have no points. Like, how badly are 9 is our little RPA on the RPA coming out for Arizona. Number to 275. That went on with it. Again, for anybody who has jumped in late in the midst of all this, YouTube is of the United States. So from what I can tell at the moment, feeds are coming in and dropping out and coming in and dropping out, and it's a big hot mess. So we did, after we did the early part of the break, took a vote. Everything gunning. Still having the same old problems. And I don't have any error messages on early stuff, which is already completed. The mini helmets and the flawless basketball. It's on a separate video. And I believe that the YouTube archived version came out clean from what I'm told. And it's already up there. So I think you can already watch it. I will upload in 2 different breaks. Break A, which will be the flawless and the helmets. And then after we finish Prism tonight, of course, then I will, after I upload break A, we'll upload break B, which is this part, just Prism football. CJ Mosley and the Ravens, that's numbered to 275. But for sure, guys, I know there's stuff going on with YouTube, and we kind of... There's Terrell Davis, that is a Hall of Fame insert. This is Randall Cobb and the Packers, a die cut to 199. House 999 says it's still my laptop, so it really doesn't have anything to do with YouTube, other than, obviously, YouTube has to allow the upload, but other than that, then, yeah, it'll be fine. You won't have any disruptions in the locally recorded version. And here we have Isaiah Crowell for the autograph hit. That's on a checkerboard, I believe is the name of that pattern. The Raiders with a die cut to 199 with Arden Key. Carson Wentz to 275. But yeah, YouTube doesn't have a whole lot of the country. Like, it'll be half the country when it happens. Minkah Fitzpatrick and the Dolphins, that's a die cut to 249. But we have had a lot of severe weather kind of in the eastern half of the U.S. last night, overnight, into today. So Broncos, Troy Fumagalli, and it's actually number 1 of 25. How about that? First in the series, always a bonus. Hi, Ginger. I don't remember any Patriots hits. I don't think so. We really haven't gotten a lot open yet because we had to, stop and reboot things and kind of try to get rolling to make sure it was a YouTube. To 149, Jair Alexander and the Packers and the 49ers. Those are a redemption. We're going to set it over there in our housekeeping area off to the left. We will flip the way I look at it anyway. John Kelly and the Rams. He just about managed to sign off of the sticker on that one. So there's our little housekeeping redemption. He's just going to sit right up there, and we'll probably have some other things to join in before it's all... Certain wrappers that you can like grab and tear all the way down. It's some of the Topps wrappers you can do it with, and some of them you can't easily do it with. I can never get it to work with the Panini wrappers. Always have to go about it the long, hard way with Panini, don't we? All right, let's take a look and see what we've got at this point. We had the nice rookie RPA for Rosen. Now you've got a silver prism to go along with it. So if you're Arizona, a couple of nice. That's to 275. Clowney for the Texans. And Sony Michel rookie introductions for the Patriots to 275. That's Earl Thomas and the Seahawks. Sorting mat sounded like sorting hat, didn't it? Like Harry Potter. Anybody else read? Board. Royce Freeman for the Broncos to 49. That's what happens when you try to say checkerboard and you try to say Royce before you have checkerboard all the way out. And they drop it. Yeah, that's what it was. Started saying Royce before I finished saying the other. Darius Geis and the Redskins, die cut to 249. Hi, Latchman. If you are just getting here, Latchman, YouTube is having all kinds of problems tonight. And apparently 49 with a red will resolve itself shortly, if it hasn't already. But I would hope so anyway. Ah, Latchman, you said you can see that. So it must still be having problems then. All right. Great when it works. We cuss it when it doesn't. But still, what would we do without technology? We wouldn't be able to do fun stuff like this, that's for sure. To 75, it's Kalen Ballage and the Dolphins. Insert coming up. Those, again, are refractors and they're not numbered. That particular one is Derek Carr for the Raiders. 3 of those a case on average, so it's not a super common insert, but it's not like a totally uncommon insert anyway. So this will make sense to you guys. Come through and broadcasting and all that. So that's completely dependent upon if their side of things is working and if the live stream is working, right? So that's what's happening right now. YouTube is having technical difficulty on my own computer and recording this break directly to my own computer, which does not require the internet in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I could disconnect myself from the internet and still record something and save it on my computer. Then when the internet came back on, I would be able to upload it to YouTube. So basically my laptop. So if YouTube fixed itself in the morning, for instance, I mean, like, hopefully it'll be fixed tonight, but if it didn't allow me to upload tonight, I'm sure it would be fixed from my camera to my own laptop computer. There's no way for that to be messed up unless I suddenly lost power. Like if I lost electricity, then I would not be able to do that. Or if my laptop, you know, blew up or my camera broke. But outside of those 3 things, nothing else is going to affect that. Roquan Smith and the Chicago Bears. So you don't ever have to worry about that sort of thing. That's why on the original break, before we decided that you guys wanted me to completely tear it down and reboot it, I had just kept the local recording going. There wouldn't have even been a gap in it when I up 249. Had to, you know, you can't locally record when you have the computer off, which we had to do to reset everything. So that's why there's has more to do with all the storms. Someone reported earlier it seems to be mostly in the eastern half of the U.S. Danny Etling storms here were mostly last night, overnight. I haven't really had any this evening, but I know there are other parts of the eastern U.S. who really have had quite severe weather today as well. Mine was in the overnight hours. So that's probably a large part of what's going on with whatever problems YouTube has at the moment. That would be my guess anyway. But that YouTube allows if for some reason YouTube is not allowing uploads tonight, like if they're way jacked up and you can't even get something uploaded, then of course I would have to wait until tomorrow to upload it. But barring stained glass that we have pulled tonight, if memory serves, again, those usually come out 1 or 2 per case. A hype, Deshaun Watson for the Texans, Andy Dalton numbered to 75 for the Bengals. And I tell you, the slick surfaces on these cards, especially when they're in sleeves like that, I think. I'm going to have to see if boy, if you hear blood curdling whatever in a minute, you'll know. This for the Titans is our silver prism. Behind that, we have a Jordan Akins autograph for the Texans. And of course, we will recap, well, that's that Kid Reporter thing. We'll recap our hits at the end of the break tonight here as well. Joshua Jackson for the Packers. That is a blue scope. And it's unsigned. Sometimes the signed parallel version will be numbered differently for whatever reason. The kitten to move because I think we were about ready to have a big throwdown up here. And oh yeah, another Redskins. Boy, that was kind of dismal there, that game, Cowboys and Titans. Like, good grief. Titans turned the ball over 800 times and then still somehow won the game. They didn't turn it over 800 times, but you know what I mean. Carlton Davis, Tampa Bay Buccaneers autograph. Of course, my Steelers play Thursday night football, but they flexed us out of a couple of Sunday night games. That's Drew Brees and the Saints, Illumination. Leighton Vander Jags have been playing, let's just say, not very well. And I want to say it was another one where the opposing team isn't playing as well as everybody thought they would be playing. Anyway. But I do think it's good that they can flex out some of that stuff, because sometimes, you know, like the 49ers, they had the 49ers in a ton of marquee spots, thinking, of course, it's still going to be Jimmy G. And then he went down with the ACL, so they flexed them out of some of those spots. But then guess what, man? What about this Mullins kid, right? I mean, they may have to put the 49ers back in if Mullins has cause after all this year. I'll be interested to see what happens. I think they're... Which practice squad, first game in the big leagues, and he just carves them up like he'd been doing it his whole life. It was really... I'll be interested to see what he does going forward. There's a hype Eagles, Carson Wentz, Earl Thomas, Nick Mullins cards, and get a Nick Mullins autograph deal signed so they can put his rookie cards in something. Like maybe Contenders would be great. Nyheim Hines and the Colts to 149. But I don't know, that might be too fast of a turnaround. This is Bradley Chubb rookie introductions for the Broncos. Because Contenders comes out in December. They may not have time to get Mullins worked in there by then. Our silver prism is MJ Stewart for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Behind that, we have a Luke Falk autograph for the Titans. Oh, well, that split the sleeve, didn't it? The Giants, allegedly, you know, getting really close to the cop with the car when the cop was telling him not to make the turn. So, you know, various traffic violators wondered if the Giants were going to cut ties with him after that, because he's third string, right? Quarterback. That's probably just another indication that Eli's going to find himself warming the bench again season, but then they didn't stick to it. Kurt Warner, Hall of Fame insert, Greg Olsen to 249 for the Panthers. That's a blue scope to 99. Latchman, you're out of here. All right, man. Well, have a good night. Deshaun Hamilton and the Broncos. There's an Emmitt Smith Cowboys. Marcus Mariota for the Titans. That is to 75 with green crisp. And I don't take the break to see it for a long time. I think that's partially due to the fact that you can't, you know how like with regular cards you can like slide, and you can go through them that way? Even though it's a case, maybe that's the difference. I mean, technically you could slide these across each other with the coating the way it is these days. In the early days of Prism or Chrome, no way could you have done that. You would have damaged them. The way it is these days, it really wouldn't hurt it, I don't think, but habits. So we still do it. I see a red wave coming here at A.J. McCarron for the Bills. 3 or 4 seconds. You keep thinking that it's going to get itself. Archive version becomes available first. It's the fastest almost always. But it'll just say like live stream with nothing else there. It's a Drew Brees insert for the Saints. This is Christian McCaffrey blue scope to 99 for the Panthers. And you'll know the difference in 6-18. You know, football attempt to do it tonight. There is another Josh Rosen for the Cardinals. This one is an autograph to 149 on a red wave. So you've got a silver prism Rosen, you've got an autograph on Red Wave to 149, and then you've got the RPA in there for him too tonight. Ito Smith to 275 for the Falcons. So if you have the Arizona Cardinals, you have kind of hit the mother load for Josh Rosen here in Prism tonight, like an impressive number of 9 to 249. Avantez Burfict die cut. Just looked over there and saw you typed in. Sorry. I mean, I wish YouTube wasn't giving us fits tonight. It is almost to 275. So, you know, it'll probably be like the very last box, right? Like we'll be on like the last pack of the last box and it'll fix itself. That'd be about the way it goes. Brandon Graham for the player. He's not on my radar, although I think we pulled him once before out of Prism. Because I vaguely remember saying the same thing, like, who is that guy? Yeah, he'll be like the next Nick Mullins or something. Curtis Martin. So, really nice most of last week, then got kind of chilly over the weekend. And it was nice the first part of this week, and today was really, yesterday and today both, fairly warm. Of course, bad storms last night, but none today. Now they're saying I might have snow here. Snow! By the snow, especially because it was probably 60 or 70 degrees today. It was nice out. Tom Brady illumination for the Patriots to 270. Comes another 9. Kalen Ballage and the Dolphins. Kalen Ballage in it. It was insane. And the same with Jamon Moore. Like every single product. We still definitely hit them plenty, but you know, it's not like we hit them 5 times out of one break or anything. So I think maybe they've got us, you know, sort of settled down with the... Those, of course, again, are not numbered, but they are refractors. And, what is wrong with my sleeves tonight? Every once in a while you get a bad pack. We're going to put that in the sleeve right now instead of waiting on it. Might as well, because we've got to put this in one with Shaquem. Not a bad deal at all. Wish it had been signed for the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta. I'm surprised that the Cardinals cut Sam Bradford. Like, I'm really whacked up knee that's always giving him problems. Kansas City Chiefs, Tony Gonzalez. But they actually benched him because he was just playing badly. Leighton Vander Esch, Cowboys, green crystal to 75. Ultimately, I think they just thought to do that now after the way Pat Mahomes is playing this year, after setting out last year and learning. But anyway, no, they just kept Bradford all together, which, I was a little surprised. For the Carolina Panthers. See, that one is one that's different. See, to 199, Jackson Ravens, die cut Aaron Rodgers for the Packers to 249 in the orange parallel. 8 down, 4 to get area that we will have to flip over and check out at the end of the break to find out what kind of fabulousness we have waiting for us there. Oh, wait. Which you may not be now, given ball game, and you feel so inclined as to tell me how badly we're getting thumped, you know, feel free. Scott just came in and told me we were getting thumped, but he didn't ever give me the score. Gave me what Duke scored, but not us. Jerome Baker for the Dolphins, 149, red wave. Still to 75 to go. That's an AB. Christian Kirk for the Cardinals. Andrew Luck die cut. I'm really tumbleweeds rolling down the street sort of thing. It's like, daggone you, YouTube. And you're to 275, it's Chris Hogan and the Patriots. A really good break. Cardinals have Bradley Chubb and the Broncos on a silver prism. For Herndon for the Jets to 1. There is a rewards point card, so you know what that means. One of our hits got replaced by this 200.org to give that out at the end of the break, along with any other. Antonio Brown for the Steelers to Crazy World of Prism. Far away, but they're just trying to move around on. That is a hype Dak Prescott and blue scope Dak Prescott. Darius Geis, a die cut Darius Geis. Are we detecting a pattern? It's like we're seeing the same player kind of back to back on various inserts. That's numbered to 75, Carson Wentz and the Eagles with the green crystal parallel. To 275, that's Lasley and the Ravens. So apparently John Harbaugh is a little bit on the hot seat up there in Baltimore. I really don't know that they'll ever fire him, though. I mean, the bottom would have to just drop completely out, I think, for them to fire Harbaugh in Baltimore. I don't know. That might be another place where if they keep trending, as soon as they can get away from that job, which I think get themselves out from under. And I bet you they do right away. Dalton Schultz to 99, Cowboys, blue scope autograph. And then we'll get a chance to see what Lamar's really got going on. Marshawn Lynch, silver prism for the Raiders. Another sleeve splitting down the side. Come on, you stupid sleeves. Rasheem Green, Seahawks autograph. Another red wave up and coming. This one is Cam Newton for the Panthers. Carolina. Find what did it say? Was it Celtics? And Jamal Murray just went off. This is what, his third year with the Nuggets, third maybe, no more than second, but and he just live for the 49ers with the guy whose name I can't pronounce behind that. Then we have an orange die cut Calais Campbell for the Jags. So yeah, so Murray goes off for 48 points, and the game is, well in hand. Denver's going to win, not by a huge amount, but, they're up 8 or 10 or something. Like, and then hold the ball and let the clock run out. Ezekiel Elliott and the Cowboys. Effect for Prism wants to get to 50 points, I guess, too. So Jamal Murray wanted the game ball, right? Because, he had a career game. They took the ball and threw it in the crowd, way up in the crowd. 3 today and points, but so then, of course, Kyrie's coming out talking about, oh, what a punk move that was on, that's not the word he used, but you can imagine, fill in the blank. But what a punk move it was for that sort of stuff. Meanwhile, poor little Jamal Murray, it was, career game. I wanted to try to hit 50, which you would think anybody could understand. I mean, he's a young player. It was exciting for that kid. Cedric Wilson Jr. for the Cowboys autograph. But I did think it was really crappy of Kyrie. I mean, knowing that Jamal wanted to keep the game ball, so he tosses it up into the crowd, was also kind of a really over Prism. Riley, yes, Joe, you must have come in late, and so you might not know this, but YouTube is having terrible problems tonight, and apparently the video is lagging and jumping in and out and going offline and coming back. Dak Prescott insert. This is Kelvin Benjamin and the Bills, blue scope to 99. And YouTube has been having problems all evening, apparently all across the eastern U.S. And yes, unfortunately, there's no way to avoid it. We did have a discussion earlier. This is Derek Carr and the Raiders Illumination. Before we actually started on the break, if we wanted to break it or if we wanted, to go for it or if we wanted to wait, and everybody said go for it, so that's what we're doing. Tom Brady die cut for the Patriots to 249. But for sure, I know it is a frustrating experience to try to watch it live. 149, that's a die cut from Matt Ryan and the Falcons. Hall of Fame insert Staubach and the Cowboys to 149. That's a red wave. Jay Ajayi for in this circumstance with YouTube acting crazy like it is. Falcons. James Washington. We are closing in on it here on getting finished up with the break part anyway. So 275, that's perfect for the Bengals. And a die cut Russell Wilson for the Seahawk pile there and onto the mat, but it doesn't appear to be any worse for the wear having sidetracked itself there. That is Hayden Hurst in a red wave for the Ravens, numbered to 149. This is the time to try to really bring the fire. We'll pull some really good stuff out of the last box. Doesn't work every time, but it works a lot of times. So see if we can make that happen. Waiting to see what that will be going out by way of random.org to one lucky team. That was the blue parallel there. Right about the time the Steelers had given up on this break, we still had one for you. Kirk for the Cardinals, a Ray